I think so many people are watching women's basketball right now.
Yeah.
It all started from the national championship game, and I've been dealing with this.
Has officially been shattered. Not quietly, not subtly, but with a thunderous crash that echoed across social media, voting booths, and every national broadcast that dared to push a narrative over reality. The myth. That Angel Reese is the face of the WNBA. That she's the chosen one. That she's the future. Except, the fans just called her bluff. For the past 2 years, arguably 3, the mainstream media has been waging a campaign to crown Angel Reese as the savior of women's basketball. From glossy magazine covers to podcast circuits and corporate endorsements, Reese was everywhere. ESPN called her a phenom. Forbes credited her with growing the league. And every sports panel from New York to Los Angeles pushed the idea that she was leading a movement. A movement based not on statistics, but on marketing. And then came the all-star voting. Reese, the media darling, didn't even crack the top 10. Not top 5. Not even top 10. Meanwhile, Caitlin Clark, a player routinely snubbed by the very outlets praising Reese, wasn't just leading the pack. She was dominating it. With over 515,000 fan votes, Clark was the clear-cut choice of the people. Reese, a distant 13th place, collecting just 173,000. And suddenly, all that media smoke evaporated under the cold, hard light of public opinion. This wasn't just a voting result. It was a reckoning. Let's be honest, Caitlin Clark didn't need a PR campaign. She didn't beg for attention. She earned it, draining logo threes, breaking attendance records, and turning every court she steps on into a stage. The fans didn't just vote for Clark because of her name. They voted for her because of her game. Because when you average double-digit points, stretch the floor, control the pace, and put on a show every night, fans remember. They show up. And they vote. Reese, on the other hand, built her platform on charisma and clout. But charisma doesn't get buckets. And clout doesn't hide the fact that she's shooting 30.9% from the field, the worst among qualified players in the league. This is a post player, by the way. Layups are supposed to be her bread and butter. Instead, fans have been watching missed bunnies, forced shots, and a string of triple-single performances that barely belong in a box score, let alone an all-star conversation. For every video clip of Reese flexing on social media, there's a stat sheet screaming inconsistency. And while her defenders point to her rebounding numbers, leading the league, they say, dig a little deeper. Many of those boards are off her own missed shots. Me-bounds, they're called. And that's not dominance. That's inefficiency masked as hustle. So how did we get here? How did a player who was plastered across every media outlet, celebrated in commercials, and labeled as the next big thing, fall flat when it mattered most? Because the fans were never buying what the media was selling. The disconnect has been growing for months. While Reese was being praised for her poise and leadership in press conferences, she was struggling on the court. Her team, the Chicago Sky, is one of the worst in the league, sitting at a dismal 3-9 record. She's had multiple games where she scored in the low single digits. There was the infamous zero field goal game, the triple single stat lines, the tantrums, the cold shoulders from teammates when she demanded the ball and didn't deliver. And then there was her quote, the one that perfectly encapsulates the problem: "People are watching because of me too." That might be the most unintentionally revealing statement of the season. Because people aren't watching because of Reese. They're watching because of performance. Because of players like Caitlin Clark, Aya Wilson, Nafisa Collier, and Aaliyah Boston. Players who show up, night after night, and let their game do the talking. Players who don't need to remind you that they're stars. Because the fans already know it. Caitlin Clark, for the second straight year, is leading the WNBA in fan voting. And not by a slim margin. Her vote total more than triples Reese's. In fact, several players you won't see trending on Twitter, Kiki Iriafen, Lexi Hull, Kelsey Mitchell, received more votes than Angel Reese. That's not an oversight. That's not a glitch. That's the fans making a statement. They've seen the highlight reels. They've heard the slogans. And now they're calling for results. Even media outlets like Forbes, who went out of their way to declare Angel Reese the engine of the league's growth, are being left behind. Their failure to even mention Caitlin Clark in their analysis says more about media bias than basketball. Because while Reese was doing interviews and podcasts, Clark was winning games, breaking records, and filling arenas. You can't fake greatness. Not in this league. Not in this moment. The fans are smarter than the spin. They're not voting based on hype. They're voting based on who puts in the work, who produces, who delivers. And when it came time to fill out ballots, Reese got exposed. Let's not pretend this is just about numbers. This is about trust, about who the fans believe in, about which players resonate. Clark doesn't have to scream for attention, she earns it. And the numbers reflect it. Nafisa Collier, nearly 485,000 votes. Aaliyah Boston, 447,000. These aren't players being marketed as faces of the league, they're earning it the old-fashioned way. By dominating. Contrast that with Reese, whose highlights look better in commercials than on the hardwood. Sure, she leads the league in rebounds. But rebounds alone don't make an all-star. And certainly not when your team is losing by 30 and your shooting percentage hovers below 31%. Even her signature hustle plays have turned into viral memes. The flailing shot attempts, the late rotations, the off-balance drives that hit nothing but backboard. For all her talk about bringing attention to the game, the only attention she's been bringing lately is from disappointed fans and WNBA critics. And when the numbers were revealed, when her 13th place ranking became public, there was no press tour, no rebuttal, just silence, because there was nothing left to say. This all-star vote wasn't just a list. It was a referendum, a public vote of no confidence in a narrative that's been pushed too far, too fast. The WNBA wanted a hero. The media wanted a star. But the fans wanted basketball. And Angel Reese wasn't delivering it. She may still have the followers, the commercials, the podcast deals. But now she has something else too, a brutal reminder that fans can't be fooled forever. The WNBA is at a crossroads. It can continue chasing media-made stars and ignoring the actual product on the court, or it can listen to the people who matter most, the fans. And the fans just told the league, we want Caitlin Clark. We want Aaliyah Boston. We want winners. We want ballers. We want proof. So unless Angel Reese finds a way to elevate her game, not her brand, not her marketing, her game, she will remain exactly where the fans put her. On the outside looking in. If you support Caitlin Clark and the rest of the Fever, keep voting for this year's All-Star Game. And if you're tired of the hype and ready for the truth, comment Baby Goat over Baby Giraffe down below. Like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you don't miss the next reality check. Click the next video and we'll see you there.